Don't forget
We're live.
We are live.
Live.
Hydro and Co. episode 10. As you can see, we got a new face down here on the screen. You know, B Money, high school running back extraordinaire, absolute dog, Eagles fan, and one of my groomsmen, B Money Bryce. Welcome to the pod, bro.
Welcome.
Hey, what's up, boys? What's up, boys? Hell yeah, man. Glad to be here.
We got a lot to talk about this week. And Bryce, this is going to be a pretty fun episode for all of us. So we're excited to have you on. Other than that, we just want to give a quick shout out to our first sponsor, Rogue Energy, for sponsoring the podcast. If you want to use code Hydro at checkout for 10% off of any of your energy products, pre-workout, want to get a little swole, get a little hype before you go to the gym, go grab Rogue and put code Hydro in the promo, and you can get 10% off your purchase. So appreciate if you go out there and do that. Other than that, just a couple little things. We got a jersey giveaway coming at 500 followers on Twitter. So if you're not following us on Twitter, go ahead and do that. And then we'll be giving out more details about that as it comes along. But without further ado, boys, I think we just go ahead and jump right into the fantasy football recap. What do you think, Chase?
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's head that way.
Let's do it. So, luckily, Bryce, you're in this league as well. So every guest we've had on so far is in this league. So it's definitely cool to have everybody's different perspectives. But we're going to get into the scores of this real quick, and then we're going to move on to a bunch of other topics. This will be a pretty decently lengthy episode. Hopefully it won't break the 2-hour mark. We'll see what happens. All right, Chase, you're up first, man. Talk about your week.
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, my week, I did win again, 3-0. Who would have thunk it? Overall,
Bro's on a hot streak, man.
I am. Don't know how. Overall, Jalen Hurts carried my team. AJ Brown caught a touchdown. So he got 20 points, 19 and a half if you want to be specific, but Adam Thielen showed up and showed out finally. He had 18. Cooper Kupp had an off week, which makes me sad because I know those are going to happen, and I hope that the rest of my team, steps up, and that's what they did. So I'm happy. Saquon had a great game, but overall, another dub, and we're on to next week.
Yeah, not too much to say on that one. I mean, Tag's team didn't play too bad. I mean, Jonathan Taylor kind of underperformed a little bit. DK finally had one of those breakout games that he was looking forward to sitting all line up at the same time. So,
yeah, only reason Chase is 3-0 is because he ain't played me yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, all right. See you next time.
Moving on from that, we do have our next matchup of Kendall.
Let's go, baby. In the win column. Let's go.
Hey,
finally.
Clap it up for the boy, man. It's about time, baby. Let's get it, man.
And Lizzo, it's about damn time.
Hey, for real though, if I could score 110 points and Joe Mixon and Aaron Jones combined for 11, I'm very happy. Traded for Marquise Brown, and first week on the team, he scored 28. Shout out to Marquise. Hopefully, he can keep
Shout out to me, man.
Shout out to Chase. We made a trade. Hey, I appreciate it. Thielen finally did good for you too.
Yeah.
But CeeDee Lamb, 23 points on Monday Night Football. I needed was 4, and he came out and showed why he was worth the second-round pick. I just wish he would have caught that long bomb too. He'd had probably 35 or something. Went right through his hands. Overall, I'm happy. I really like my team going forward. I think my team is a lot better than what 1 and 2 shows.
Definitely. I feel bad because I traded Drew, Jamar Chase, and he had an off week with 12 points. But I did give him Brees.
Man, it can't get more off with David Montgomery having a 1.1 point. That's a little tough, man.
Khalil Herbert, the backup, had 30 on his bench.
Yeah. I mean, that sucks. But he has Brees Hall now, so, I mean, I hated trading him, but, I mean, I got Saquon. It's just, I know Brees Hall is going to be a a man on a
Hope
mission.
not.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like it's what's going to happen.
All right, moving
onto
on
the
to
shit onto the shit show of the
absolutely
week.
the matchup of the week.
Good God.
My team scored 78 points and still won. That's all that you really need to know. This team is completely different as of today. Made 2 trades today. Got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4 starters. Got 4 new starters on the team.
Two big trades. 2 like blockbuster trades.
Yeah, I now have Jonathan Taylor on my roster. Don't have Leonard Fournette anymore. I also have Kyler Murray, Brandon Cooks, and I got rid of Kyle Pitts and got T.J. Hawkinson so I can get Kyler Murray. So,
What? This is going to be the first time I think I actually kind of agree with your trade. Your trade, some of your trades, man.
First time ever.
Yeah, I like the fact that I have JT and JJ on the same team. Now, if Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to produce as a top 5 fantasy wide receiver, then I look like an idiot.
Yep.
If Amon-Ra gets hurt or Jonathan Taylor just goes on a tear, then I look like a genius. I don't see Russell Wilson getting any fucking better. I was actually, it's funny, is I'm going to have to, it canceled out. I was dropping Russell Wilson today and picking up Geno Smith, and I was going to streamline until week 13.
Why? This the shit I'm talking about. Okay, I don't like Russell Wilson. He plays for the Broncos.
You had me, then you lost me.
Why would you drop Russell Wilson? Why don't you just bench him? Literally.
Oh wait, never mind. I was getting rid of Kenyon Drake, and I was going to bench Russell Wilson.
I was about to say, why are we dropping Russell Wilson?
So Geno Smith was going to be my starter until week 13, until I got Deshaun back. But other than that, in terms of my team, my previous team, Michael Carter is slowly losing grip on the job, which is scary because he's still in my starting lineup, and I have no backup help at any position now after my trades. Leonard Fournette didn't play too bad. Russell played like shit. Justin Jefferson played like shit. But, I mean, you can't blow up every week. Kyle Pitts and Drake London had a good week. I started the wrong defense yet again. I think that's like the 3rd time. Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson does that about once every 8 games. And you never know which game it's going to be because he is in the biggest committee of all time. Because it's like Damian Harris, 14 points one week, and then Ramondre might get 10 the next week. And it's just bullshit. It's annoying. Losing J.K. Dobbins was a big hit, but I did get Jonathan Taylor. So if Michael Carter can give me 10 points and, Jonathan Taylor can give me 25 to 30, that'll work out. But Beaver's ass. It always has been ass. I've said it since the beginning. You're the worst team in the league, and you scored.
Good Lord.
Yes, I scored 78 points, but I still won. That says a lot.
Don't worry. When Beerich plays me last week, he'll score 150.
Yeah, and that'll be the one time. Rashad Bateman's a bust.
Talking shit.
I don't know if I'll say that. I don't know if I'd say that.
Talking my shit. Cam Akers is.
I don't know if I'd say that.
He got fucking lucky with that touchdown. Will Lutz fucking sucks. Went over 3 on field goals. God bless. Until the fucking DeAndre Hopkins gets back, I think he doesn't score more than 100 points.
I was about to say, Beerich has help on the way with Keenan Allen and D-Hop.
Yeah, having Keenan Allen come back, you're going to be able to compete a little bit more. And once you get D-Hop back, I feel like your team will be good. But until then, your team's asshole.
What? Why does he have Chase Daniel?
He actually texted me. He actually texted me on game day, and he was torn between trying to start Kirk Cousins, who played at 12 o'clock, or take the chances if Herbert wasn't going to play at 3. So he said he was going to take the chance on Herbert at 3, and if he didn't play, he was just going to play Chase Daniel because he still had Gerald Everett to stack with him.
That made no.
I mean, I guess. Yeah,
fucking
sure.
Sure. I mean, could have just waited till Monday. I promise you, Daniel Jones is more fantasy relevant than Chase Daniel. Like
he just wanted to stack if Herbert didn't play.
Yeah, because Gerald Everett is that big of a fucking weapon, apparently.
Hey, Chase Daniel, Gerald Everett. I mean,
that's worse than the fucking Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney stack, and I mean, fuck, that's saying a lot.
That's a bad stack. I'm done talking shit about Justin Fields though.
Move it on.
You can't talk about Justin Fields anymore.
Tag told me to say something about him tonight on the pod, but I forgot what to say about him. He wanted to say something shitty about Justin Fields. Well, my ball Zach Ertz versus Commandee's nuts. So the battle of the balls. Went to Jake. I mean, there ain't much to say. Derrick Henry had a decent game. Wesley's team is like you look at it and it looks so good on paper and it just underperforms.
Man, that Chris Olave would have helped out a lot.
Yeah, which I mean I don't even know if he's starting next week after that because I don't think he's going to pull that off again.
I think I'm a lot higher on Chris Olave than some people are. I think he fits pretty good in that offense. It's just about somebody actually getting him the ball who's competent. Jameis does not look good.
It ain't Jameis Winston.
He does not look good.
If he would have started Tyler Conklin, this would have been a fucking matchup. But what do he have, like 20 something?
Well, I'm also going to say this.
Tyler Conklin over Darren Waller, but
I will just say this: Darren Waller dropped 2 passes in the end zone that would have been touchdowns, and he dropped a 40-yard bomb.
Yeah.
He dropped a 40-yard bomb. Oh, I was there live in person, by the way, so I got to see it firsthand.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
And this is why I say Dallas Goedert is better than him, but we'll wait to get to that part. We'll bring that up down the line.
That shit is still ridiculous.
Jake had a really good week this week. I mean, only 107 points, but it works out. Is that Hayden Hurst on his team?
Yep. With a 1.7.
Good Lord. Michael Thomas, I mean, I feel like you keep starting him. I mean, he's hit or miss based on how Jameis plays, and the script just went towards Chris Olave. But other than that, I really think just a pretty standard week. Good win for Jake. You're happy with that win.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go.
Take it away, B-Money.
Pretty good week for the boys. Needed that a lot, actually. We started out 0-2. I think my team is a whole lot better than what my record shows, personally.
I agree. I think me and you're kind of in the same boat.
I don't think so.
It's just...
I know so.
Man, I don't know. For some reason, man, I'm getting into a pickle where Deebo Samuel has kind of underperformed to a point where, like, Garrett Wilson and Tyler Boyd are both on my bench, and back-to-back weeks, Garrett Wilson did great in week 2. Tyler Boyd did great in week 3, and it's to the point where I don't know about Deebo just because of the quarterback situation, which Jimmy G, I think, is going to help out. But that showing on Sunday Night Football did not help worth a shit. That was awful. That game was terrible.
Definitely.
But I don't know, man. I think we're on the right track with my squad here. I think moving forward we're going to be all right. But a little sneak peek here. Some moves are coming.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch Kendall's sell high video on Mark Goober?
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I would, at this point, I'm so ready to get rid of Travis Etienne. Anybody can have that, man. I don't want this piece of shit. I don't believe I had high hopes in that man. I don't want him. He's garbage. It is awful.
I texted Bryce 2 weeks ago about Etienne, and we almost had a deal. And then Bryce said he wanted to watch how they did, and then we would talk again. And I could honestly say I'm no longer interested.
I don't blame you, bud. I don't blame you. But I'm to the point where I don't know if I can drop him just in case. Like I got the handcuff with him and James.
He's still at least a handcuff.
Yeah.
Say, please drop him.
I don't know. I'll trade you. I know you need backup running back help, apparently.
Well, I don't have backup anything help to even trade for you with. So if you want my supporter, then I think we're We're not going to come to any kind of agreement.
But anyways, Logan sucks. That dude's awful. He needs to be kicked out of the league. He's dog shit. I hate to kick
Anybody
your
else 0-3?
ass, but I had to do it.
I don't think so.
No, he's the only 0-3.
There's currently a curse going on. Logan says there's a curse placed on his team because I called his team the best in the league.
There is. I don't care what you say. You cursed him and you cursed my Raiders in real life. I do not give a shit what you say, and I want this lifted now. I want it lifted now.
I'm not going to lift the curse just because I want to see if it's actually legitimate or not. So if y'all go like I win 16, then I know I'm just.
I hate you,
Nostradamus, and I just have.
I hope you know that you're literally ruining my life.
Oh well, that sucks. But moving on. Good game for Bryce. Not so good game for Mr. Logan over there. And then the last one of the week. This is a tight game. I didn't realize how tight of a game this was. 2 points was all the difference. Literally 2 points on the money, on the dot.
Yep.
So, if you're Big Will, you got to be pretty upset about that. Because, one reception for 10 yards, and you're winning probably.
Oh, he didn't have a defense.
Yeah.
He just sat that one out.
He had the Cowboys, but he was already winning come Monday Night Football, so he just took them out in case they got him negative.
Oh, good point.
Huh.
Good.
That was smart.
Brilliant
That
strategy.
is smart. Never really thought about that.
So, hey, props to you. Good job.
That was a good decision.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Lamar Jackson had a good week.
And Mark Andrews.
And that was pretty much all the difference.
Carry that team. He had Will had Devonta Smith, who had 30.9, which was nice. Hopefully, for the sake of the Eagles, he can replicate that every week. I pray he does. Yep. But we'll see. We'll see about that.
All right. Well, that is our week 3 fantasy recap. Chase, you're going to show us the standings.
Oh, yeah.
Going into week 4. Just going to talk his shit again. I don't think Price is on this side of on this division, so you don't have to talk shit to Price.
Yeah. The rest of you guys stink. I am leading the league in points by 30 something. It's just easy. It really is. It's too easy right now.
Once all them Eagles come back down to reality, we'll see what happens.
There is no.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, man.
This is the reality.
No,
as Jalen Hurts would like to say, this is the standard. This is what we do, man.
Shit. Okay, well.
I wasn't talking about Jalen. Jalen's always going to be good in fantasy.
Yeah,
oh yeah. What the fuck are you talking about then? Talking about AJ Brown?
I'm talking about AJ Brown and Miles Sanders, baby.
Miles Sanders came back. He had 5 points. I would have taken him out, but I couldn't.
That's a lot for Miles Sanders.
I mean,
good grief, dude! What are we?
That's a great game for Miles Sanders.
He's had like 10 points every week.
Yeah,
Kendall's going to piss me off.
Like I said, when they return back down to reality.
I hope the reality is him scoring 20 points.
All right. So, do y'all want? So, there's 2 different ways we could go from here. We could either go to our contenders or our panic time picks, teams that are 1-2 or 0-3, teams that we've maybe hit the panic button or not, or we can go into our top 10 lists, whichever one y'all want to do.
You want to review the games from last week?
I was going to save that until after that. I was going to.
Okay, that's fine.
Split the recaps up a little bit.
I
don't care. Whatever y'all want to do.
It's just how quick an episode do you want TikTok on?
So I got my contenders or pretenders pulled up, and I did it by conference. So I think I went AFC first.
You wanna do like who should panic in the AFC and the NFC, and who should stay calm as far as like the people like losing records right now?
Yeah, I think that's the move. I have all the teams listed over here with each team based on their record, and then we can go through and be like, do you want to hit the panic button? or are you chill with where they're at through 3 weeks?
Go crazy, what? Start us
Okay,
off.
so we first. It's by division, so we have the Jets at 1-2. Bryce, what do you think? Are you hitting the panic button with the Jets yet, or are you chilling?
I actually have the Jets as no, they should not hit the panic button just yet. Just based on what I don't think they're going to win the division. I don't think they're even going to come close to that. But I like where they're at right now as an organization. They drafted really well. They got some really good young players. I think Coach Sala is actually a really good coach. I didn't think when he first got signed, I didn't think it was going to work out. But the only thing I see them panicking in is their quarterback per se, because that I don't think Zach Wilson is the long term option. I ain't seen enough for him, enough of him yet to say that he is. But I don't know. I don't think you need to panic yet. I think they're not they're like the Lions, but they're not as competitive as the Lions. Like they're competitive in some games until they run into like a complete buzzsaw team. You know what I'm talking about? Like they
They're kind of
played
like
the
week
Ravens
5
week
for
one, they got
advisory
their
game.
ass kicked. Yeah. I don't know. I think they're all right. I think they'll be okay. They don't need to panic just
Yeah, I'm
yet.
not hitting the panic button.
I would go. I don't know. I think if this was week one and heading into week one, I would have went ahead and just clicked the panic button for the Jets. They're not going to do anything, in my opinion. They're still a year or two away in their rebuild. Maybe even more than that. So I don't know that they're kind of a hard team because it's not really like they were projected to compete for anything or something like that.
I mean, it's the Jets. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can't panic if you weren't expecting anything anyway. So,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, a win is something to celebrate. So, I mean, that's just say
Yeah.
enough.
That's true. Something the Raiders haven't done this year.
It was a very impressive comeback against the Browns, though. I'll give them that. That was an impressive comeback.
For sure. Well, moving on to another AFC East team that's 1-2, we have the New England Patriots. Mac Jones just went down with an injury, and for me, I'm kind of hitting the panic button.
I'm
Smacking
fucking
that
smashing
yes.
that panic button.
Yeah,
We are in trouble, boys.
Mac Jones has proven absolutely nothing this season up until his injury. He has no one to throw the ball to, which doesn't help.
I think
Parker-
that's what it is more than a Mac Jones problem.
Yeah.
I think their offense can't move the fucking ball. They don't have playmakers. They don't have speedsters. They don't have nothing on the outside hardly to get anything really. They just have a running back by committee offense, and that's what it looks like. It revolves around.
That roster ain't that good. Now that Mac Jones got that injury, we're definitely gonna smack the panic button.
Yeah, can Bailey Zapp please start? We know what fucking Brian Hoyer has to offer, and it's not much. Can we at least see fucking Bailey Zapp just go out there and just sling it? WKU guy, but man, Brian
Was
Hoyer's
a dog at
fucking trash
WKU
can.
too, man.
Yeah, Brian Hoyer's a fucking trash can. You're not going to win games with him. He's just going to go out there and throw for like 150 yards, 2 picks, and maybe a touchdown. Who the fuck cares? Your team's ass. Why not let the rookie go out there and just see what can happen? Maybe he can make Nelson Aguilar relevant again. Maybe, I don't fucking know. But as long as Brian Hoyer's the starting quarterback of this team, the Patriots will not win a game, and I will laugh the whole time. Because fuck Bill Belichick. Fuck the New England Patriots. It's about damn time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think that you can really panic because at least me, I wasn't expecting anything from the Patriots to begin with. So it's like whatever. But I mean, I guess everybody in New England area, definitely should hit the panic button because just like the first time they've been irrelevant in a long time. I feel like.
Oh, for sure.
Well, moving on to another 1-2 team going to the AFC West, we have the Los Angeles Chargers.
I'll go first. I hate them, but I'm not panicking at all on the Chargers. They went toe to toe with the Chiefs week 2, and then they just lost to the Jags. They just had a down week, especially with Herbert with his ribs. So I'm not gonna panic on the Chargers just yet. I think their roster is still has little to no holes, and I know they just lost Slater, but still, that's a very good team.
Yeah, that's a big loss for this year. But I mean, losing your left tackle when your starting quarterback has 3 broken ribs isn't a great sign. But at the end of the day, they're still the
That
championship
roster is so
defense.
good, man.
Yeah, I don't see them having any
That
problems.
team
They've
is
had a
so
really tough
good.
schedule.
And it's not like Jacksonville is bad right now. God, that
No.
team is on a roll, dude. That
Pretty much
team's
no.
hot, man.
Yeah, they ran. And I think just matchup wise, I mean, after the Justin injury, they were still trying to figure things out. You know how they were going to game plan with him being injured, and the Jaguars just came in and absolutely tore it up.
I think they
Yeah.
should panic if Justin Herbert's like legitimately hurt. I mean, obviously he has stuff going on with his ribs, but if he can't play, then it's definitely time to panic because you don't want to let this talent go to waste on that team, and you have to figure out something if he can't play at 100%. Because the way they play the Jaguars is not going to win them games at all.
Fuck, maybe Chase Daniel's the answer. Start Chase Daniel. All right. Well, everyone just clear way for the soapbox. Kendall, you can go ahead and take a step up for your 0-3 Raiders. Go ahead and speak your piece.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious if you're the only 0-3 team in football, especially in the AFC West, it's already time to panic. This is by far the most hopes I've ever had for my team ever heading into a season, and they have found 3 different ways to let me down already. So I don't really know what's going on. Play calling's bad. Derek was bad week 1, and he's been since then. I'll be the first to. I love Derek Carr, but he's got to play a little bit better.
But he's above average, remember?
Waller cannot drop so
what
many
the fuck
passes.
is that?
What?
Better than Jalen hurts my ass.
Oh God, Jalen.
Atta
Thank
baby.
God.
Atta baby.
That again. Let's go.
We need some common sense on this podcast. But anyway, Waller cannot drop those touchdowns. That hurt, and that honestly cost us the game. You go look and you watch how Derek was playing and throwing, moving around in the pocket. He actually played really good this past week, and it just went for nothing. So definitely time to panic. We got to figure something out now.
It's over for you
Dude,
guys.
I'll tell you, when you was at the game, me and Chase were on Xbox, and we were just kind of watching the score there for a minute. We were like, "Oh man, this." I feel so bad for Kendall right now, dude. But I'm sure Tag is loving the fuck out of this. I was like, "This whole team is just shot, dude. This team is shot, man."
What point in the game were you saying that? When they went up 14-3 to start?
No, probably about around the fourth quarter, man. Like in the middle of the fourth quarter, I was like, "This ain't too hot." I don't know. I was just watching that game. I was like, I don't know what like is specifically wrong. Like I think it is the play calling for one. That's a big part of it. I don't get what's going on.
Josh McDaniels has been asked this year, and I'll be the first to admit it. His play calling has got to be better.
Yeah, I think I could call better fucking offense than Josh McDaniels did right now.
You have the best receiver in football with Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, and Josh Jacobs is a talented running back, and you see what's going on.
You don't have to put Hunter Renfrow in there. That guy's just punching back.
He was a Pro Bowl wide receiver last year, so I am going to put him in there.
Was he a Pro Bowler before or after the Super Bowl scratch outs? Just asking.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Nah, I don't think it does.
No, it don't matter. It don't. It don't matter. It don't matter. Jalen Hurts was an alternate last year. I don't want to hear that shit. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Josh McDaniels holding this fucking team back. They never should have fucking got rid of that special teams coordinator coach they had at the end of the last year. He was a fucking menace. You need some energy. I feel like to have a successful football team, you got to have that guy that's going to go in every day and keep your players held accountable and pumped up and just motivated to go out there and win every week because it is hard to win in the NFL. And I feel like Josh McDaniels is the most dry robotic human being
Yeah,
on the face
yes.
of the planet.
I was going to say that. That
He
is one thing
brings
I could
no
tell.
juice. He brings no
None.
juice.
Tell you right now, that
who
dude
we
ain't
need.
getting off kneecaps, man.
You know who this roster needs, honestly, that to get what you're saying, like get in their face, get them pumped up. John Gruden.
I knew it was coming. I knew it. I was
Knock
like,
on
he's
wood
about to
if
say
you're-
Gruden, man. Knock on wood if you're with me, man.
No,
That ain't fucking happening.
oh, I know it ain't. I wish it would. I wish I would see today that he gets reinstated into the league and he's our head coach.
But
I think there's other coaches that can give you some juice that are not named John Gruden.
yeah, I mean, just to finish it off, they should panic. I mean, being 0-3, built for to be a playoff team in the AFC West is it's not good to be 0-3, especially when you got to play the Chiefs twice a year, the Chargers twice a year. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they won't. But I would panic. I would panic. It's panic time.
Yeah, and I think another team that potentially could be panicking is the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1-2. You lost TJ for an extended period of time. Hopefully, you're going to back him in a couple weeks. But Mitchell Trubisky has not looked great at all. The chance for, the chance are already starting to bench him. So I feel like if you're a Pittsburgh fan, you're panicking because you're in this quarterback purgatory period that every fan is afraid of, where you don't have a clear-cut starter and the backup's getting chanted to come in, and you really don't even know if Kenny Pickett's going to be the answer either. And if he's not the answer, then what the fuck do you do? Because then you're
See, I actually have Pittsburgh not panicking. It's kind of contradicting what you just said. I think they're in a spot where, like in training camp, the NFL is moving to a point where you draft a rookie quarterback. If you have a veteran that you either bring in a free agency, trade for, whatever like that, within the first 2 years of you drafting him, you don't want to start that rookie. Like, even if that veteran is bad, has been okay, decent, you always want to put that veteran in first. I don't know what it is, because Tennessee's doing it. Pittsburgh's doing it. I don't know. It's kind of a weird spot. I think Mitch has been so bad, you can't get much worse with Kenny Pickett. That's how I kind of see it. Their defense has actually played very well. Their secondary is a whole lot better than I thought they were going to be this year. I thought their corners were terrible. Minka Fitzpatrick is still top 3 safety in the league. I think they're in an okay spot. Mike Tomlin's always going to have that. Mike Tomlin's always going to have that team ready to play, no matter who's playing quarterback or whatever. He's a great head coach. He's always going to have that team ready to play. I just think it's time to put Kenny in and see what you got. I don't think it's time to panic.
Their offensive coordinator is absolutely buns. Terrible OC. He's not even letting Mitchell call audibles. Mitch is not allowed to call audibles on plays, according to a report. And if you can't trust your fucking starting quarterback in the NFL to call fucking audible, that's just asking to get absolutely handed. Because if you can recognize something on the line and you're not allowed to change it, you just have to watch fucking disaster fucking occur in front of you. Like,
what does that say about Trubisky, though? What does that say about him? Like, does he not recognize? Could he not recognize coverages very well? And I don't know if that's a coordinator problem or that coordinator don't have enough faith in Trubisky to make the right audible.
If I'm an OC and my starting quarterback, I don't trust him enough to read a defense to call audibles. Why the fuck are you starting?
He doesn't need to be a starting quarterback.
I mean, shit. Any other level, that motherfucker ain't starting.
I'd say I'm not gonna say full panic for the Steelers. Because of Tomlin. I think he could figure a way out to turn this around. They still got some talent on that roster, but I would say slight panic for one reason. I don't know if y'all have seen their schedule. I think they play the Jets this week, but after this week, they play 4 of the best teams in the league in a row. That's the only reason I'm saying slight panic, because their schedule does not get easier.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
pretty much knew what was happening whenever the season started. They knew what they were going to get into. They knew we all know what Trubisky is. I mean, we knew he's not going to be like a top 10 quarterback. So I think the Steelers would have been happy if they could even come close to 500. I know 500 is not an actual thing anymore because we play an odd number of games now. But if you can like hover around that they've been happy with it. There's still a chance to do it, but I don't think it's going to be with Trubisky. So I'm not going to say panic just because you knew what you signed up for this year whenever you got Trubisky. So
Well,
Yeah.
moving on to the second team in the AFC North that is 1-2. We have the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think it's anybody. I don't
Boy,
think
it's
it's
time to
anybody
panic.
here. I don't.
No, it's time to panic.
I personally don't believe it's time to panic because I think like in all reality, like them making the Super Bowl last year was insane, and I don't think anyone called for it. And it was one of those instances where a team that probably wasn't really ready to go to a Super Bowl just yet did, and then the mindset of the whole organization changes. I still feel like the Bengals still need some big organizational improvements on the O-line, especially. They tried to make those changes, but even the ones they made, just the O-line market in general outside of Teron Armstead wasn't that great. So they didn't get a really good shot at free agent linemen, and their rookies they didn't really have a draft position to draft a really good offensive lineman out of this rookie class. So it's just like this is one of those years where like they're probably going to play pretty bad. I don't see them winning more than 10 games at this point. They might be like a 9-7 win team. And you go out in the draft and you draft cornerback, offensive lineman over and over again for 7 rounds. And then you just hope a couple of them click. Because you can get Eli Apple's ass out of there.
I did say heading into the season, I thought that they were going to have a hangover, and I think it is definitely time to panic already because the only team they beat is the Jets, and that's nothing to brag about. So,
and they
Joe
had
Burrow,
a tough time against the Jets in the first half.
Yes, and Joe Burrow, I know they had these problems last year, but sooner or later it's going to catch up to you like we're seeing. He has no time to do anything, and I think that team got way overhyped heading into the season because they made the Super Bowl. They got hot at the right time. I mean, kudos to them. Happy for them. They made the Super Bowl, but they got hot at the right time, so they just made a late push. They got overrated, so now heading into the season, I think we're definitely starting to see those holes just show right back up again, and they need to fix it or they're going to be in for a long season.
I think they got complacent. I think they're like, if we just run it back next year the way we had it, this past year, we'll get the same result, maybe even a ring at the end of the year. But I think it is time to panic because they got beat by Dallas, who had Cooper Rush as their quarterback, and like you said, they only beat the Jets. So it's not going to be an easy season for Joe Burrow. I hope he doesn't get hurt because I mean, with the way he's getting pressured, statistics show that he's going to get hurt at some point, and that's going to be unfortunate. So, yeah, it's definitely time to panic.
I've seen a stat. It said at the end of last year, over a 3-game span or something like that, he got sacked over 30-something times over a 3-game span. Like I don't care how tough you think you are, you ain't tough enough to go withstand that an entire season. There's no absolute way.
Sacks.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Luck
There's no way anybody's body can withstand that.
I think more so it's like a mental thing though. It's just like you're like, man, I got less than 3 seconds to make this pass work. There's no way it's going to happen. So you got happy feet, you're overthinking, and you know that somebody's right around the corner about to fuck you up. So that's definitely a problem.
Well,
I think that's a big result from that Pittsburgh game, week 1. TJ and them got to him a couple times in the first quarter, and he started to realize that he was like, man, I gotta get this ball out quick, no matter what, or I'm gonna get put on my ass and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So
he's a quarterback that needs time for the play to develop. He's not a Josh Allen where he can just go out there and make a really quick read and just zing the ball into a tight hole. Like he needs time for the play to develop to really be able to make his progressions and put the ball down the field. And right now, it's looking bad on Burrow, but I think everyone realizes with no time, he's forcing stuff because he has no choice.
Right.
But
just my opinion too. They definitely feel like a different mojo. Like they definitely lost their mojo from last year too. That they feel like a completely different team. Like from just the sense part of it.
Yep.
well, moving on from them, we have Indianapolis Colts at 1-1-1.
I mean,
Fucking
I
slam
mean-
that shit on the fucking ground.
yeah, I mean, they're a
See, I
playoff
got it
team.
written down as yes. I got mine written down as yes. But if you look in that division, man, it's almost wide open to the point. Besides, like the Jags, and they're on a hot streak, is what they're on. They've hit the ground running, but that they almost look like the Cardinals from last year, where the Cardinals started out like 5-0 or something like that, and then just completely fell on their face.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that division's kind of wide open. Yes, I hit the panic button, but it's also to like the point where you can get it back on track. I think.
I'm not gonna panic just yet. If you'd asked me last week before this week, I probably would have told you yes. But they just beat the Chiefs, and good. I'm glad they did, and they're one win away next week from having a winning record. So I'm definitely not panicking just yet because they're 1-1-1. They don't have a losing record or nothing, and they're in a weak division, kind of like what Bryce said. So I'm not panicking on them just yet, but I do think if you'd asked me last week, I probably would have said yes. But they definitely showed signs of improvement this week.
Yep.
I'm hitting the panic button for a couple of reasons. I think it really shows how important Matt Eberflus was to this football team. This defense is underperformed, and they're projected to be one of the top defenses in the league coming into the year, and it just hasn't clicked. Matt Ryan looks like a shell of himself. And when Michael Pittman's your only true receiving option, if you take Michael Pittman out of the game, you can go ahead and stack 8 in the fucking box on Jonathan Taylor and just dare him to run. Similarly to the Titans, who we're about to talk about in a second, if you can force a team to be that one-dimensional, it's going to be hard to win. If Michael Pittman gets hurt, unfortunately, I hope he doesn't, at any point in the year, they become such a one-dimensional ball team. And I feel like they could get so much better if they were to make a trade at some point in the year for another receiver or go pick someone up in free agency that can kind of take some of the pressure away from Pittman and can really be that second receiver they need. I think that solves a lot of their problems. Their just offense looks so stale right now.
Yeah, I think they're just a playoff team if Matt Ryan's like not their quarterback. I think Matt Ryan's holding them back. They're built to be a playoff team. But with Matt Ryan being the quarterback, it's going to be a tough ride. I mean, the only thing they have going for them is that the division is pretty weak. I'm not a big Jags believer yet. We'll see if that changes after Sunday. But I think Matt Ryan's just holding them back.
Well, moving on from them, we have the Texans. I don't really have anything.
We
could skip.
Next.
Them.
They stink. They stink. It's all right.
The Washington Commanders at 1-2.
I mean,
yeah, they suck too.
I don't think anybody had that high expectations for them heading into the season either.
No.
I think their quarterback play is going to be the reason why they don't get far.
As soon as I seen them trade for Carson Wentz this offseason, I was like, yep, well, they're going to suck.
See,
there goes their season.
Dude, Carson Wentz has secretly been playing good this year, dude. Like, he's like 5th in yards and 6th in touchdowns or something, like, in the whole league.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't be a box score watcher because if you watch the game, he just sits there in the pocket and like he forgets that like a rusher just ran by him. It's like, okay, he's out of the picture. I can just sit here and stay here. He has no pocket presence, so he's going to get hit and he's going to make these stupid plays and there's going to be fumbles and it's just going to be bad.
I'm not saying he's great. I'm not even saying he's good, but I just like. I don't know. I think he's just slightly better than what y'all would give him credit for.
But the only reason I see him leading in the league in some of those stats, you look at week 1, they got out early on the Jags. The Jags made a comeback, so they had to resort back to throwing the ball again. Then they play behind against the Lions. You got Jahan Dotson, who I think is going to turn out to be a stud, it looks like. And Terry McLaurin, you got them two. I mean,
Stud.
they're going to, yeah. They're going to play from behind. I mean, and he's going to have to throw the ball. That offensive line is awful, which, I mean, the Eagles did play some of their backups just because they've had injuries across the line. But I don't think their starters are much better than what they had playing on Sunday. But I don't know. I don't think he's that good, man.
What I'm saying is, like, I don't think Carson Wentz is the reason that they're going to be losing. Their defense is getting lit up. I don't know what happened to their defense 2 years ago. They're bad. The Commanders' defense is real bad. And like you said, the rest of that offense, other than their receivers, is bad too. It's just a bad roster. Like, I definitely don't think Carson Wentz is anywhere near the top of their priority list as problems. They got to figure out the rest of their roster first, and then upgrade from Carson Wentz, in my opinion.
And they need a new stadium.
They need a lot of things.
New owner.
I'd start with
New
the
stadium.
top of the food chain and kick that owner to fucking prison. Is what I think I would do. He needs to be thrown under the jail, but that guy's a fucking moron. But
There's one
know,
thing
that's
they
just
got going
mine.
for them, and if that's their receiver core.
Yep.
And this is coming from an Eagles fan, man. I've told Wesley this a couple times. I like some of their players. Like, I like their team. Like Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. Them two right there, studs. Like, incredible. Chase Young, stud. Their defensive line is no problem. Their linebackers are not that great, I don't think. Their corners are usually, I think their corners are actually very good. What's his name? St. Juice or whatever that played against A.J. Brown. He was locking his shit up in the first quarter, man. AJ couldn't do anything. I don't know.
They're just in this weird limbo period where they just need to kind of retool a little bit.
I think that defense is a shell of itself from 2 years ago, but we can move on.
Yeah.
Moving on to the 49ers at 1-2. I'm not hitting the panic button. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be fine.
Yeah.
No. Next.
49ers, it ain't time to panic yet.
Arizona Cardinals at 1-2. Yeah, I'm hitting the fucking panic.
Yeah.
They kind of stink.
At least until DeAndre Hopkins gets back. DeAndre Hopkins can get back and this team turns around, then you take off the fucking panic button. But
I got a quick question here because I got him in one of my leagues. I got a quick question. What the fuck happened to Rondale Moore? Did he just fall off the face of the planet, or what is wrong with this guy?
Greg Dortch has taken over.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break.
I absolutely hate Cliff Kingsbury as a play caller and as a coach.
That guy's dog shit. He needs to be fired immediately.
He refuses to adapt when the game plan changes against him. If the defense starts to figure him out, he just keeps running the same shit. And I feel like if you're running the spread like he does, and the run and shoot kind of style, like
he tried to bring that Texas Tech offense from college, and that shit was just not it in the NFL, man.
Yeah, and when it doesn't work, he doesn't adjust. He doesn't scheme against teams that are really good in the secondary, and it's like he just shows up to work every day with the same plan he had last week, and if it doesn't fucking work, so be it.
Hey, the guy's got a nice ass house though. Y'all remember seeing that on draft night a couple years ago?
I had to fucking sell it before too long. I have to take his ass back to Lubbock.
Yeah, well, I'm panicking on them. I think they suck.
I'm also panicking on them. I don't even think they deserve their only win. Pick up the.
Oh, here we go. Next.
They've been playing from behind all year.
I think this one will be a pretty quick one. The Seattle Seahawks.
They suck.
Yep, next.
They suck.
Yeah. The Lions at 1-2. I ain't fucking paying.
Absolutely not. Hell no. That team is good, bro. I think that team is great.
It's a good team.
I think
They're still rebuilding. They're doing it the right way.
Yeah, I think that's a good team for now. I think they'll finish around 500 this year, and I think that next year is going to be the year where they kind of take off, depending on what they do at quarterback.
Do y'all kind of believe the whole thing that's been going around, like they've turned into like America's like sweetheart team? Like everybody wants to see them succeed.
Because of Dan Campbell, yes.
I want to see them succeed.
I think Hard Knocks kind of boosted that up, kind of
Definitely.
picked it up.
All right, the Carolina Panthers.
They suck. I mean, we knew that.
Dog shit. Baker's terrible. He's not fit for that offense.
They have a shitty coach too. I mean,
Yeah.
we knew they were going to suck.
Yeah. Moving on to them, we have the New Orleans Saints.
Hold on. What did I say about y'all, White? Give me a second.
Well, I can go ahead and say more about them. Honestly, I had a little bit of hope coming into the season. I like the receiver room, and I still do. I like Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave. Jameis isn't the answer. He hasn't been the answer. He won't be the answer. He gives his heart and soul to that team. He gives the heart and soul to the community and the organization. I know the city of New Orleans loves him. It's just on Sundays he just doesn't come out to play. And I will say he hasn't been turning the ball over a crazy amount, but he hasn't been able to punch it in either. Alvin Kamara's been underperforming. Don't really know what's going on there. I don't know if it's a scheme thing. I mean, we have Pete Carmichael's calling plays for the first time since the Bounty Gate season where Sean Payton was suspended for a year. And I feel like Dennis Allen being the head coach and not just the defensive coordinator has kind of hurt us on defense, even though our defense has played pretty well. It's just being a head coach is a full-time job on its own while also having to call the defense. I just feel like it's kind of put a lot on Dennis Allen's plate. And I just really miss Sean Payton, and I wish he was.
That was sweet.
I'm just going to point out, Wyatt did say that Jameis isn't turning the ball over very much, and yet he's on pace for 30 picks again.
I don't think we'll fucking run the ball. I don't think we'll pass the ball enough for that to happen.
So I'm not going to panic on the Saints, though, just entirely yet. I want to see a couple more weeks, but I think y'all's roster, just from on paper wise, there's only one hole, and it's the most important. It's the quarterback. So I think if y'all can find a way to overcome that, this could be a good team. But that's a tall task to overcome.
Thanks for Bryce.
Hey, but we appreciate that first round pick this year, though.
Yeah, I'm iffy. I'm iffy on the Saints. Like I could see them turning around. I could also see Jameis just running this team to the ground.
Yeah, ask me again after next week, and I'll let you know. I'm just like whatever. Because they play in a weak division, in my opinion. Tampa Bay, I think, is weaker than previous years. But I mean, it's like whatever.
The third team in this division is the Atlanta Falcons.
Skip.
I mean, they're rebuilding. I mean, they're a fun team to watch too. I mean, but
I think Drake London is going to be a stud, man.
Yeah, he's played great so far. But that's everybody. There's definitely some teams that we were very much adamant on needed to hit the panic button, and there were some teams that we very much thought that they're going to be fine. And it is really early. That was the hardest part about doing this. With some of these teams, it's like, man, it's only been 3 weeks.
Is there any way we could get into the contenders or pretenders, possibly? Because I got some takes on that one.
I think we were going to save that for next episode, weren't we?
We're going to the next episode just to give another week.
Yeah,
but I mean, you can give us you can give us 2 contenders, or you can give us a contender and a pretender. We'll let you have the table.
If you have some takes that you really want to just get out there, go ahead.
Little preview for next week.
Chase kind of hit it just a second ago. I think Tampa Bay is pretenders. I don't think that they are near as good as what they have been in previous years, which it also may be half of their the wide receiver room has been out. But I don't think Tom Brady's looked good. I think that offensive line isn't as good in previous years. The defense has been kind of meh. I mean, they've been good, but they've been meh. Like they're not going to be like not going to be home run hitters every week, if you know what I mean. Like, I mean, they're not going to just wow you with defense play. I don't know. I think the NFC is kind of weak this year, like as a whole. Like it's not that good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about the Bucks after they beat the Chiefs this week.
I don't know about that one. I don't think Tom Brady has it. I think this is the year for Wyatt. This is the year.
Oh, please God,
I
don't be
am
the year.
not panicking on Tom at all. I want to see him with consistent weapons around him first.
I can't wait to see Tom Brady retire. That was the happiest day of my life when he did it the first time. I was genuinely like joyful because I was like, thank God I will never have to see this motherfucker in a uniform ever again.
I'm just gonna say this, just because of what Bryce said with the NFC being so weak. I ain't gonna be surprised at all if the Bucks end up back in the Super Bowl.
Okay, that's just cap.
I actually had I got the Dolphins as pretenders too. I don't know what y'all think about that, but I don't know. I just don't really believe in
I feel like they're
that defense that much on the long run.
Like they haven't proved enough yet to be contenders. So
my thing is, I don't think that roster as a whole are pretenders. I think Tua is a pretender.
Yeah.
He was pretending.
I don't think that roster is built top to bottom to compete in like an actual like a playoff game, like deep in the year. Besides their offense.
Yeah, especially if his back keeps hurting. You know, oh, my back. Oh shit, I can't see straight. My back hurts.
I watched bro get up and face plant. Look like a
son
newborn
you got
deer.
A concussion. We need you out there. Check it off. Rub some dirt on it.
They could have done better than that. They could have said like an ankle tweak or something. But no, his fucking back. Are you kidding me?
Bro, he looked like a baby deer on ice, man. He got up, walked 2 steps, and face planted. Where's your sign at that this man is concussed?
My back hurts, man.
Yeah. Well, I really want to get into this segment. It's my favorite segment every week, even though this is only going to be the second week we've done it. Chase, NFC Power Rankings.
You want to do the whole thing, or you want to do top 10?
I'll just do top 10, unless you just feeling froggy and want to do all 16.
I mean,
Chase, run through them all, but once you get to 10, then you can explain. Kind of like what I did.
No, I got you. Let me pull my list real quick because I can't do it off the top of my head. I have at 16, I got Seahawks. Panthers at 15. I got the Commanders at 14. Falcons at 13. I think the Falcons are better than Commanders. Only because the Bears are 2-1, I'll put them at 12. But man, that quarterback stinks. The Cardinals at 11. I got the Giants at 10. This is not the NFL rankings, just the NFC. So being 10th in the we're not doing that. Just because I mean they're 2-1. I mean they're all right, you know. But I mean somebody's got to be 10, but definitely not 10 in the whole NFL. At the Saints at 9. Not much to really say. The Lions at 8. I feel like they have a lot of momentum, even though they're losing games. They're like gaining momentum. They're gaining confidence that hey, like we're not getting smoked every single week. And I feel like as the season continues, their confidence will grow. They'll compete against teams they shouldn't be competing against, and they'll win some of them. So next up, I got the Cowboys at 7. They're winning with Cooper Rush. Their defense is really good. Who knows what will happen when Dak comes back? I couldn't tell you. I don't think Dak will be that much of an improvement, but the defense will keep them in games, and ultimately will win them some games as well. I got the 49ers at 6. They're not as bad as their record indicates. They're just, I don't know. They're starting off slow. They're a boring team to watch too, but they're a good team in my opinion still. Vikings at 5. Kirk Cousins is never going to lead them to the promised land, but they have a good team around them. If they get an elite quarterback, they'd be the best team in the league, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. 4 is Rams. The Rams are going to be good until Aaron Donald retires, and Cooper Cup is gone. So those two will keep them in games, and they'll lead their team. I got the Buccaneers at 3, the Packers at 2, and the Eagles at 1. Toss up, in my opinion, between the Packers and the Bucks. I only put the Packers ahead because they beat the Bucks. It could go either way. They both boring teams to watch too. NFC sucks. When I was putting this list together, I was like, man, this NFC is bad. NFC is really bad if you look at it, because like the Rams aren't, in my opinion, playing like the way they should be playing. Neither Vikings. The Bucks kind of stink, in my opinion. The Packers don't really have any weapons on offense. The only thing that's keeping them intact is Aaron Rodgers. And like when you look at the Eagles, like top to bottom, they're the best team in the NFC. So I mean, that's my top 16. No, I may seem like a homer though. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
All right, Kendall, AFC.
All right, well, moving on to the definitely the much harder conference to rank all these teams. I'm only going to explain one of my bottom 6 teams, and that's going to be the last one, which is the Raiders. We deserve every bit to be last in the AFC. We don't have a win, so hoping that me putting them last turns us around and gives us some life. So
we'll pray for you.
There's that. 15 Texans, 14 Jets, 13 Patriots, 12 Steelers, 11 Titans, and 10 Colts. I was going back and forth with Colts and Titans. I think you could kind of flip those, 10 and 11. They're both going to run the ball. You know what they're getting out of you. You know what you're expecting to watch pretty much when you watch those two teams. Number 9, the Broncos. I think they're 2-1. They're 2-1, but if you watch them play some of the teams they've been playing some bad teams. They struggle. They've been struggling bad. So I still think they're the most
Russell
overrated
Wilson
team.
has played awful.
I would also like to.
He has played awful.
I was going to point that out. At the end of last year, when Russ came back from the Seahawks, everybody was saying that he was washed. And then in the offseason, he gets traded to the Broncos, and all of a sudden everybody was saying he was a top 5 quarterback again, or at least borderline. And I thought that was a joke, and it's kind of just showing. But we'll see. I'm waiting for him to play some better teams. They play the Raiders this week, so I don't fucking know what's going to happen. 8, the Chargers.
Broncos country.
Let's ride.
I just dropped the Chargers down to 8 because I don't know about Herbert's injury to his ribs. It seemed like it was affecting him pretty good. So they're still a good team. Very, very good team. I just got to put them 8 because of Herbert's question mark. I'll put the Bengals at 7 just because they finally got themselves a win. I also was going back and forth between them and the Chargers at 7 and 8. Hopefully they can, maybe prove me wrong and put some wins together here and return to the team they were last year. And then in the top 6, you're going to hear a lot of me giving props to the teams that really deserve it. So 6 is the Browns. They've been playing some really good football, even with Jacoby Brissett. And I don't think that's going to change, kind of like what I told Wyatt on the NFL episode before the season when it was just me and him. They're still going to run the ball regardless of Jacoby Brissett or not. If they get a lead and they just run the ball and keep it, it's going to be hard to beat them. And I think they're a very tough team, very physical team. Thankfully, Myles Garrett is okay after that crash. I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but it looked pretty brutal. I don't know if his car, but anyway.
Well,
5,
he's Terminator, so.
That's right. 5, the Jags. I was a believer in them heading into the season. I thought they'd be better than what people thought, but I didn't know they'd be this good. They're explosive on offense. T-Law is taking a step up. Hopefully he keeps doing it. I like T-Law a lot. Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, and Christian Kirk is a very slept-on receiving core who's playing out of their minds right now, along with James Robinson. So they're playing good football, and I think the Jags and Eagles is going to be a game that shows a lot of signs for both teams, I think, in my opinion. For the Chiefs, the top 4 right here was really hard for me to rank, but 4 I put the Chiefs just because they lost to the Colts. It's kind of why I put them at the bottom of these 4 teams. They're still really good. But 3, the Ravens. I think once the Ravens defense figures out what their problems are, they are going to become probably number 1 in my AFC rankings because Lamar Jackson is carrying them
Whoa.
right now. Yeah, dude. If their defense can figure it out, that is scary, and they have the talent on defense to do it, to figure it out. So, yeah, them are the Bills, I should say.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like,
But
Josh Allen die or something? What happened?
but number two, the Bills. I'm only putting two because they lost them. I'm only
What
gonna put
the?
them two because they lost. They lost to the number one team in the AFC. So again, I'm giving credit where credit's due, man.
You putting the Dolphins at number one?
The Dolphins are my number
You
one
just
AFC
said
team right now.
they were pretenders because of Tua.
No, I said Tua was a pretender.
Oh.
I still believe that, but this is week 4 power rankings.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is a week by week basis. And
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, top 5 I'm totally okay with, but number 1.
Look, dude. Okay, I if I had to pick right now, again, like if the Bills and Dolphins played again, I'm taking the Bills again. I'm not thinking twice, but they just beat them. Like, how do I not put them there?
yeah, you can't. I mean, you know how silly it'd look if he had the Bills at 1 and the Dolphins
Yeah,
at 2.
exactly. I can't do that.
Just wait.
I agree, dude. I'm not disagreeing. You're missing the point here.
Okay, well, there was.
I'm sorry that I didn't put the Giants in my top 5.
No. So we're getting into the best portion of the best take of the entire episode each week.
Here comes some TikToks.
My NFL top 10 power rankings. So everybody strapped in, ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have
Yeah,
an honorable
because I feel like I'm going to get pissed off.
No, you're not. I have an honorable mention this week. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They've been playing great football. They just beat the Chargers. So I'll give them the honorable mention this week. Number 10, I have the Green Bay Packers. And I'm going to bounce that off of my number 9 pick, who is the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings have beat the Green Bay Packers. I was really stuck between the two of those teams, 9 and 10. So that's why I put the Vikings at 9. Following it up with the Bucks at 8. I think with Godwin, Jones, Evans coming back, they become a lot more diversified on offense. Their defense is going to get stops, and I think the 8's kind of where they're at right now, because you're kind of playing on what ifs at this point. The Chargers at 7, they're a good team. They just have some injury problems right now with Slater being gone and Herbert's question marks. I mean, he's still going to play, but how effective will he be? But I think 7's a good spot for him. 6, I have the Ravens. I think Lamar's having a great year, and I think they're right outside the top 5. The defense is kind of what's keeping them outside of the top 5. And my number 5 team is the LA Rams. Like they said earlier, until Cooper Kupp's gone and Aaron Donald retires, they're one of the best teams in the league. Even though Matt Stafford has the elbow of a 96-year-old man. Following them up, I have the Dolphins at 4. They're 3-0. I think that's about the ceiling you have. I don't think they're a top 3 team in the league. I think going into next week, they are a top 4 team. But if they were to lose this week, I think they would drop pretty significantly. Number 3, have the Kansas City Chiefs. Tough loss against the Colts, but I think they'll bounce back. The offense looks good. Defense has played better than expected. They just struggled to close out the game against the Colts. My number 2 team is the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're fucking legit. I very well could see them coming out of the NFC if they keep playing like they are right now. I mean, if Miles Sanders is playing good football, you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith going week after week. One's playing really good. The other one.
Talk your shit, Wyatt. Talk your shit, baby.
Jalen Hurts has looked like the best fucking Eagles quarterback since like prime Mike Vick or Donovan McNabb. I don't know what he fucking took this offseason, but that motherfucker took some rogue energy and came into this fucking season juiced.
Hey, let's go, man.
And
Like the little plug there.
Yeah, he's on a fucking burner right now. I don't know how long he'll last. I mean, there's a lot of football left to play, but for right now, he's the number 2 team. And the number 1 team, who I still is my favorites to win it all, is the Buffalo Bills. Now, based on how this week goes, they can start to fall. The injuries to the secondary is huge and is a really big hindrance for them moving forward. But at the end of the day, if you're the Bills, you're just trying to make each game a shootout, and you trust what you have on offense to finish it off. So, that's my top 10. I don't think it was super contested this week. I think pretty solid list.
It's pretty solid, yeah. I mean, I have no complaints other than the Eagles should be number one, but it is what it is. Jalen Hurts is better
Flip
than
1 and
Josh
2. I
Allen.
think we like it.
But yeah, that's all we got for top 10s this week. So probably no TikToks made there. Just saying. Fuck off. Chase, if you want to share your screen, we can go into the game picks, and then we can move on to this tight end tier list, and we can get out of here. So going into this week, I don't think the standings have changed. Chase is still winning.
I got it right here if you want me to say it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. After week 3, overall, Chase is leading with a record of 27, 20, and 1. And then me and Wyatt are actually tied at 23, 24, and 1.
Yeah.
So we are 4 games back. Funny thing is, Wyatt, me and you have actually gotten the same amount of games right all 3 weeks so far.
We've had the same identical.
Well, there's a few games that we pick differently, but it always just cancels out.
Lock of the week records. I'm down to 1 and 2 after the Giants fumbled the bag.
I'm 0-3.
Kendall, you're 1.
I'm 0-2 and 1.
Yeah,
one of mine tied.
So I still have the best record.
Rough.
You
Tag do a lock of the week last week?
You still had the worst one.
Can't remember if he did or
I
not.
don't know if he did or not. I think he might have. I think he might have picked the Titans just because it was the Titans.
I think he did pick the Titans just because, but it worked out.
Yeah. So, who wants to pick the games first?
How about we let our guests do it first?
Yeah, go ahead, Bryce.
Run through them all.
Yep.
All right. So let me pull them up real quick. I got them on my notes here. Yeah.
He's blind. Can't see.
Yeah. What we got? Dolphins and Cincy. I picked the Dolphins to win this, but I think it's going to be a lot closer game than what the media is going to say, I guess, per se. The media is going to say the Dolphins might win away with this.
Bengals wearing the all-white jerseys.
I don't know. I think Dolphins win this one. Minnesota and New Orleans. I got the Vikings winning. Sorry, Wyatt.
You ain't hurt my feelings. I picked
Cleveland and Atlanta. I picked Cleveland. Washington and Dallas. I actually picked Washington to win this. I don't know. I don't know if Carson's going to have like a bounce back game, but I think the team per se will play a whole lot better. Maybe they'll get some help back on that offensive line, maybe. But I just feel a Commanders win on this one. Seattle and Detroit. I picked Detroit. Tennessee and Indy. I picked Indy to win this one. Fuck you, Tag. The Titans are terrible. Chicago and the Giants. I picked the Bears to win this one. Bear down. I think Justin Fields is still a dog shit quarterback, low tier, bottom of the league. Jacksonville and Philly. It's going to be a shootout, man. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think the Eagles win this. It's going to be a lot closer game than some people may think in the Eagles fan base or whatever, since some of them are batshit crazy and lunatics. But I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to say 38-33. Something wild. Something crazy. What else we got? The Jets and Pittsburgh. I picked who did I pick for this one? I picked Pittsburgh to win this. Maybe they start Kenny Pickett. Maybe they run with Mitch. I think Najee Harris is going to run all over that Jets defense. I think they'll win that game. Buffalo and Baltimore. I picked the Ravens to win this. I think Buffalo might go on like a little losing streak, not a bad one, maybe lose 2 in a row or something like that. I know that secondary is a big loss, but I mean, Ravens ain't really got much receivers, but I think Lamar is Lamar and Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews with Lamar, so it's kind of hard to stop them two together. The Chargers in Houston, I picked Chargers. Arizona and Carolina, I picked Arizona to win. I picked Green Bay to win the New England and Packers game. I picked the Broncos to beat the Raiders, but I think it's going to be a closer game. I think it's going to be another close game for the Raiders. I think they just lose it in the fourth. Kansas City and Tampa Bay, I picked the Chiefs to win. Not really much to say there. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. And the Rams and 49ers, I picked the Rams to win.
Who's your lock of the week?
I'll say my lock of the week is the Browns versus Atlanta. That's what I'm going to ride with.
Understandable.
Go ahead,
So, yeah.
Chase. Since you're leading.
You just want to see my picks. I want to do them live like I always do. All right, this one's easy in my opinion. Miami. I don't think this is a game 2 gets exposed, but I don't care what uniforms they're wearing. It's not going to make a difference. They have to get a line to block. Minnesota is going to beat New Orleans. As simple as that. Minnesota's a better team. Cleveland, Atlanta, picking Cleveland. Atlanta will make it close. Actually, I'll come back to that later on this week. But right now, pick Cleveland. Atlanta's going to make it a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. This one's a tough one because I definitely think Washington is better than New York. I love you, Wesley. Happy birthday. I'll pick the Commanders.
Let's go, man. Happy birthday to the boy, man.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy 30th birthday, man. Let's see. We got I'll pick the Lions over the Seahawks. That seems like that's my lock of the week, actually. I'm going to put that one my lock of the week. Colts and Tennessee. My gut tells me Tennessee, but I'm going with the Colts. This one's a toss-up because, I mean, they're both bottom 2 quarterbacks in the league. I mean, I'd rather have Jacoby Brissett over both of them.
Oh, yeah.
And Chase Daniel.
For sure.
For being honest.
And Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I mean, you can
especially Gardner, man. Not even close.
Minshew mania, baby.
At this point, they'll be better off running Wildcat offense. But I'm gonna go with the Giants. This one's the easy one. I don't think it's gonna be close. I think we're gonna blow them out like we have the past 2 teams. It'll be interesting to see if we actually score in the second half, though. But I'm gonna pick the Eagles for sure. Steelers and Jets. The other game, here's my bold prediction about this game. I think the Jets take an early lead, and they put in Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett takes them to the promised land and gets them the win. And Mr. Trubisky, no more.
That might have to be made a TikTok if that actually happens, because that's actually crazy. That'd be wild if that actually happens.
Yeah, if that actually happens, I will turn that into a TikTok.
Yeah, I have. Actually, my first 4 were away teams.
Okay.
I'm trying to split it up because last week it was like all away teams and then like a sprinkle of a home team that backfired a little bit. But this one's gonna be a great game. I hate that the Eagles play at 1:00 too, or 12:00, wherever time you're at. But I'm gonna go Ravens. Unless, of course, some injury news comes up and everybody's healed. Chargers are going to beat the Texans. Texans have no business being in the NFL anymore. Trash organization. Panthers in Arizona. This is a battle of two shit stains, to be honest. But I think this one's the shinier turd. Go Cardinals, I guess. Patriots and Packers. This is a boring game too, but the Packers are going to win. Denver plays such a terrible style of football that puts me to sleep every time. I fell asleep last week. I mean, it's hard to watch. I think this is the first game you guys win. Congrats to you. 1-3 is a lot better than 0-4.
I was
Chiefs.
hoping nobody else would pick us.
Oh, that was going to be the game where you caught up. Okay. I'm going to pick the Chiefs over Tampa because I just don't think Tampa's that good. Then I'm going to pick the Rams over the 49ers. Cooper Cup's going to have 350 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Good grief.
We pull back up.
All right, why you want to go next or you want to go last?
I'll go next. Just 'cause I
Okay,
think it's gonna be
we'll
fun.
save me. We'll save me for last. That's fine.
All right, I'm going Cincinnati in this first game. They're playing in their white tie green uniforms. No shot they're fucking losing in those.
Who gives a
fucking
fuck?
juiced. I'm going to be so juiced playing that white uniform, dude.
Dude, they're jerk the fuck out. Look good, play good. The Vikings are gonna beat the Saints. It's just gonna happen. Give me who do I have here? Give me the Browns over the Falcons. I think it's gonna be a tight game. I just think the Browns, just the style of football they play, is gonna really slow down Atlanta, keep them off the field. Give me Dallas over Washington. Cooper Rush is apparently the truth. Give me Detroit over Seattle for multiple different reasons. Give me, I think I have the Colts winning this one. I think they're going to take the high off the Chiefs game, come out and win it again. I have the Bears winning.
Bear down.
Sadly. Daniel Jones has fucking a brain dead right tackle, and Evan Neal. His best receiver just got hurt. So, moving on from there, give me the Eagles over Jacksonville. Don't have much to say there. Give me Pittsburgh over the Jets. Give me at Buffalo beating Baltimore. I think it's going to be a shootout, close game. Give me the Chargers to beat the Texans. Give me Arizona against Carolina, even though they're both ass. Arizona's not ass. Give me, is that New England and Green Bay?
Yep.
Give me the Packers without Mac Jones. Brian Hoyer's going to throw about 6 picks. I have the Raiders winning. I'm going to continue to keep picking the Raiders until they win a game, and then I will actually start picking against them. But they got to win eventually. Fuck. Here's the deal, Kendall.
Guess we don't really have to.
If you want to call Josh McDaniel or Mark Davis or whoever you have contact with, just make Russell Wilson throw the ball, and you got a shot at winning the game. Just a little snippet there.
I'd love to call up and take his job because I can coach this team better than him.
Chiefs over Tampa Bay. It'll be a good game. I got the Rams over the 49ers. Is that all of them?
Where's your lock of the week at?
Fuck. My lock.
Here we go.
I think because whose chase yours was?
Mine was Detroit and Seattle.
And Bryce, yours was?
He took the
Cleveland
Browns.
and Atlanta.
Yeah, so I'm going to take... the Bengals over the Dolphins.
Good God.
Good
What
Lord,
the
dude.
fuck,
Oh my
dude?
God, dude. That's a
The
TikTok. That is a TikTok. We
the
couldn't
white
even go
uniform.
one episode.
The
We
White
couldn't
Tiger
even go one
uniforms.
episode.
The White Tiger uniforms are going to be the defining factor. Look good, play good, win.
How do you lock a 1-2 team over a 3-0 team?
Because
I gotta ask you something. Who plays corner for the Bengals? Chidobe Awuzie? Who else is there? Is Eli Apple still there? God, I hope not.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're a dumbass, Wyatt, is what you are.
Trey Hendrickson is going to be into his fucking back all night, apparently, until he finally gets a concussion. It's going to be a shootout, I have a feeling. I don't think yeah, give me Cincinnati lock of the week. Thursday night football, easy dub. Y'all might talk shit, but I still have the best record in locks of the week. So just saying.
It ain't
At
just
1 and
takes
2. Nice.
I mean, I could pick the fucking Chargers over the fucking Houston Texans and just be boring. But I mean, fuck, I really think Cincinnati's going to go out there and whoop their ass and look good while doing it.
All right. Well,
Do you want to
moving
suck the equipment manager's dick or something, or what's going on, dog?
No, it's just dope jerseys. I've been waiting like 3 years to see them things out. All right, tight end tier list. Let's do this.
No, I didn't. Whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa!
Sorry, Kendall, I forgot about your picks, man.
My lord.
Well, they're probably going
right.
to be the same as mine.
All right. So I was going back and forth all day at work today on this first game, Thursday Night Football, actually. But it's definitely not a lock because of that reason. But I'm still going to go with the Dolphins because the deciding factor was exactly what B-Money brought up. I don't know who's going to guard Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Dolphins. Then I got the Vikings over the Saints at 8:30 in the morning our time.
I won't be watching that game.
Well, I don't blame you.
I'll be asleep,
I guess. But anyway, moving on. Browns over the Falcons. Pretty straightforward. I think they're just going to run the ball over them. Taking the Cowboys over the Commanders. They're just a better team with a better roster. Lions over the Seahawks. Seahawks are bad. Lions are competitive. And this is another game I was going back and forth all day. I actually took the Colts whenever I first submitted this, but I am changing to the Titans because my gut told me to go with the Titans, and I didn't. So now I'm just going to stick with my gut now that I know that I could maybe get a game up on Chase here. So I'm going to switch to the Titans and hope for the best. I'm also going to take the Bears over the Giants. I think this is just two shitty 2-1 teams, and it's pretty obvious. But I'm going to take the Bears to be the one that advanced to 3-1, and there might be some conversations on the media if they're legit or not. Anyway, moving on. Another game. I knew Chase was going to take his team, so this is another game I'm going to try to get a game on him. So I'm going to go with the upset here and take the Jags. That's the only reason I'm taking him is try to get a game on Chase.
Fair enough.
Then Steelers over the Jets, pretty straightforward.
Should have took the Jets.
I don't know, dude. I think the Jets are so bad. Anyway, this is going to be the best game of the week, in my opinion, and I'm glad that we play at 3:25 so I can watch this game. And it probably the TV probably won't leave this game. I'll probably just only watch this, but I'm going to go with the Ravens on a Justin Tucker game-winning field goal, and it is going to be like 45-42 or something. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be very fun to watch. Man. It might be game of the year for real. But I could see either team taking it. I'm going to go with the J Tuck game-winning field goal. Chargers over the Texans, pretty straightforward. Two shit stains. I'm going to stick with the Cardinals here. Kyler Murray's a lot better than Baker. That's just what that comes down to. This is my lock of the week. Packers over the Patriots. Kind of self-explanatory. Some of these games are pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. I'm gonna stick taking us. I know I had them. I put us last in the power rankings, but I'm not gonna pick the fucking Broncos. So I'm taking the Raiders. Hopefully we can get our first win. Maybe turn the season around because I fucking need it. Anyway, I'm gonna take the Buccaneers over the Chiefs. I'm gonna back up kind of my prediction at before the season, the episode of me and Wyatt when I took the Bucs to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. They've had a lot of moving parts, and I think Brady he'll have Evans back. I think he gets Godwin back, and he might have Julio. So this is going to be another good game, in my opinion, Sunday Night Football. And I think Tom Brady's going to do what Tom Brady does, and that's own Patrick Mahomes. So I'll take the Bucs. Then Monday Night Football, I think this could be a very good game too, and I'm going to just stick with the Rams. And I do think Cooper Kupp has a great game.
All right. Those are our picks for week 4. All right. let's get this tier list going. Chase, you know what to do with that bottom little tab there. You make it ass.
Nice.
Or if you just want to call it like Justin Field equivalent, that would work too. Because he's fucking god awful. And Logan and Jake, I hope you're still watching this, and you might want to start keeping a counter on like how many times we think Justin Field. Yeah, he might be a little bit better as a tight end, honestly. He sure can't fucking throw the ball. Let's just go ahead and get jumping right into that. Is that who the fuck?
Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz.
That'd be Zachary.
I feel like he's average tight end.
I'll put him above average. Still,
Yeah.
this is going to be his last year as above average.
I think average.
All right,
So
I'll agree. I'll put him on average. No. I'll put average, but we'll see who else we put in average.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I do want to come back to him.
TJ
Mr. Hawkinson.
I think he's average.
I think, yeah, him and Zach Ertz are about the same, in my opinion.
Don't know who this is. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's Robert Tonyan.
I think he's below average.
Below average, yeah. Maybe even inconsistent.
Molly Cox.
Put him
Ass.
underneath Tonyan.
I didn't even notice that you put / Justin Fields as a tight end. I didn't notice that till now.
Yeah, I put Jack Doyle's going right there next to him.
Yeah, I put both of them there.
Ass?
Arnold's going right next to him as well.
Jazz Kelsey. No need to even.
Fuck him,
Jared
he's
Cook
ass.
is average, even though he's fucking like 38 years old.
Higby?
Huh? No. Hold on.
No,
Wait a
whoa,
minute.
whoa.
Let's talk.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You want
Let's fucking.
Cook
Jared Cook is not on the same level
Jared Cook
as
is
fucking
not-
TJ
no.
Hawkinson and
No, he's
Zach
not.
Ertz. Are
Not
we
at
kidding?
all. Not at
We
all.
can put him below average. That makes sense.
I was
Sorry.
about to say the same thing, B Money. We about to raise 50 Shades of Hell.
Sorry, I was worried about checking.
What
on
are we
people. I wasn't
talking
paying
about?
attention. Yeah.
You've lost all credibility from leading the conversation.
Darren Waller.
Yeah. What the fuck, bro?
Above average.
Are you sure after he dropped those passes? Because Zach Ertz wouldn't have dropped those passes.
Everybody has a bad game, I guess.
Hold on. Can we put it? Fuck.
He is above. What are we talking about here?
No. I want to put him in elite.
Thank you, Bryce. Thank you.
I got one reason for that though,
I can see him in elite.
because Dallas Goedert belongs in that tier too, man.
No,
And I don't want to.
Oh
My God.
What the Bro, what are y'all watching, bro? What football are y'all watching, man?
Okay, let's just go ahead.
Top 5 blocking tight end, top 5 receiver, bro. Okay, man, get up,
Oh my
get out of here,
God.
We
dude.
just agree on Gesicki being below average. I mean, you could even argue ass. But
Nah, he's not. He's not.
I was only gonna have probably 3 guys in my elite category for tight ends, but if y'all want to put Waller up there, go ahead.
Higby's an average, I think.
Higby's having a good year this so far.
I think Higby's average.
I think Higby's good, like average.
I think Higbee had a good year last year, and he had started out hot this year too.
So let's think about this. Does he belong with this group right here, or does he belong with this group right
No.
here?
He believes it.
I think
He's-
he's clearly the best. Okay, I think he's clearly the best and below average, but he'd be clearly the worst in average.
We'll keep him in below average right now because we're kind of on the fence. Or we can put him here and then we can move him depending on where everybody else goes.
Yeah, that's
Kyle
fine.
Pitts,
This is gonna be. Hey, I want to go first. This is a real spicy take here from Kyle Pitts.
All right.
That boy has a lot still to prove in the NFL, and I think he's average. I would rank Zach Ertz above Kyle Pitts.
I agree with that.
That ain't bad.
Consistent.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
I figured
But
that might be a little more-
let's all state something here. Let's state something. That man's potential is
Yeah,
beyond
yeah.
elite. Like, good
absolutely.
God.
Absolutely, I agree. He just got to show it.
We can go ahead
Yeah.
and Tyler Conklin and Irv Smith and ass.
I'd put Conklin inconsistent. He's having a good year quietly. You might not know it.
He's had like one good fantasy game.
No, he's ranked like the third tight end.
He was
in
good.
fantasy right now.
Wasn't he? Didn't he play? He played for the Vikings last year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a good year last year. I thought
let
like
me-
it
let
was
me-
decent.
Let me check something before I go ahead and confirm that. Let me go ahead and fact check myself. Yeah, you see it? Tyler Conklin's ranked number 3 right now in fantasy.
Okay, let's put him at inconsistent then.
Yeah,
Irv Smith
I don't think he's
staying an
completely ass.
Hunter Henry, below average.
Hunter Henry ain't been good since like 2016.
Yeah, I think him and Tunyon are kind of similar. They'll catch a random touchdown here and there.
Evan Ingram, I feel like is inconsistent just because he's hurt all the time.
Could have been. Should
That
have
motherfucker
been.
can't. He couldn't hit. He couldn't catch a cold in dead middle of winter.
All right, Bryce, go ahead.
I think he's above average with
Who?
elite potential.
Dallas got it.
Dallas. Yeah.
Go ahead, Chase. Go ahead. What are you thinking, Chase?
We'll put
Yeah,
him
Chase,
above-
I want to
we'll put
know
him in-
your take on this.
We'll put him in above average for now, but depending on who's there at the end, we can have our argument.
Okay. I am okay putting him above average, and I want to point out when it comes to everything receiving, Darren Waller wipes Dallas Goedert. But when it comes to blocking,
See, thank you, man. I don't think it's that big of a difference. Waller's 10 times faster. I'll give you that. Waller he's probably a little bit taller than Dallas.
Okay.
I don't know if he's got better hands than Dallas, man.
Okay, but like what I'm about to say, like route running, Waller definitely top 2 among tight ends. Not even
with
close.
Dallas Goedert at 1, right?
No, Darren Waller 1. Wait, what?
Okay, let's move on.
Darren Waller's a receiver at tight end.
Oh my God.
Thank you. We can say that.
I think
I'm okay. I'm actually okay to have Dallas there.
Below average.
I think he's the best tight end and below average.
Boom.
Ooh.
Or I mean, if you
I think-
want to say Tunyon's better, I'll take that.
No, I was going to say, I don't know. We can leave him below average.
I don't know
but
if Tunyon's better
than
him.
I think Pat's clearly the best in below average. I was going to say I think he could break out and move up to average. But
Gerald
let's let him.
Everett.
He's still
let's
young,
prove
man.
that. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's like what, his second or third year.
Everett is.
Who's that, Gerald Everett?
Yeah, that's the definition of inconsistent.
George Kittle
Elite.
Gronk.
retired.
Yeah, retired.
Cameron
Cameron
Brate's
Brate. Ass. And
Mark
George
Andrews.
Kittle,
is elite.
he's elite.
Logan Thomas is the definition of inconsistent.
Boy, what are you thinking, Bryce?
Mark Andrews better than Waller?
Yeah.
I would say stats.
Mark Andrews is a scheme. He's a scheme animal.
You kind of. I feel like you kind of have to say yes because last year Andrews had like 1,400 yards, and he's getting schemed open this year too. So, but talent-wise, I would agree with you. I think Waller has more talent than Andrews.
I think Mark Andrews is a product of his quarterback. I mean, you look at him, throw it to him.
Y'all might
good.
not agree with this at all. Y'all might not. I think you take both them tight ends in above average, and you take Zach Ertz in his prime, and T.J. Hockenson and put him on that Ravens offense. They had somewhat, if not the same year, as Mark Andrews.
Probably better.
You know, honestly, if y'all, I might make a suggestion, and Bryce might like this. I don't know, but I'm okay now that we're seeing this to move Waller to elite and Zach Ertz up to above average. My opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm
feel
also
like
okay with
there's other
leaving Waller right there and above average.
I mean, there's other tight ends where, like, Dawson Knox is probably above average in my opinion. Dalton Schultz is above average.
I don't think Dawson Knox and Dallas Goedert are on the same level.
I don't think Dawson Knox is better than Zach Ertz or Goddard. Yeah.
I
No.
would take Dawson Knox over Zach Ertz every fucking day of the week.
Nah.
Why? Because he plays for the
Are
Bills?
you kidding?
No, he's just like Zach Ertz is. He's on the back end of his career, and Dawson.
But he's
Knox
still
is-
good though.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
Dawson
Yeah,
Knox is
okay.
fantastic when he's not throwing it the ball to Diggs.
Daw-
Every fucking
Since
Dawson,
when?
Dawson
He was
Knox.
great.
Hold
last
on.
year.
Hold
He
on,
was
dude.
top 10 targets
No,
last year.
bro, hold the fucking phone. I had that man on fantasy last year. I remember several cases of that dude getting one catch for 9 yards. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? If
Again,
he's
when he's not
fantastic,
throwing the
he's
ball to
getting more
Stephon
than one
Diggs
catch.
all the time.
Dawson Knox had 580 yards last year. If that's fantastic, then I don't know what we're saying.
If that's fantastic, Dallas Goddard is a 9-time Hall of Famer.
If that's fantastic, you might as well just go ahead and crown Waller and Goddard right now.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah. What are we doing?
I feel like if you put Zach Ertz in above average and move Darren Waller to elite, then I also think Hawk.
I'm okay to move Hawkinson up to above average too. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking TJ was a little bit better than average.
So
I'm thinking move
Darren
Waller.
to elite.
I'd say Waller to elite, and then Ertz and Hawkinson up to above average.
You want to move anybody from here to average, or if they still below average?
I think Pat Fryermuth could go.
I think Pat, you can move up to average. Yeah.
Is Gesicki that bad?
I would.
He's just a blocker at this point.
He's a blocker. Yeah. I would like to point out again that the potential for Kyle Pitts is unlimited, and people that are watching this got to realize.
Potential.
Yeah, people that are watching this got to realize that he hasn't really lived up to that yet, so he's got to stay an average.
I think Logan Thomas is inconsistent. When he was playing, he was.
That dude just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Who was that other tight end they had? I can't remember his name. Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed. That dude's brain is a bowl of oatmeal.
Okay, if Dawson Knox isn't above average, I think he's an average.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
I was about to say, if you putting Dawson Knox above Kyle Pitts, you're fucking insane.
Yeah, no, Dawson Knox
we've
is
seen
fine
below
right there.
average on him. I think we've seen plenty out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
CJ Uzoma.
Inconsistent.
Yeah, he hadn't done shit in New York, but he looked like a fucking stud last year. David Njoku.
I think he's average, man.
He's just never.
He might actually be.
No, he's at.
I'd put him ahead. Nah, fuck.
It depends on what game it is, because some games he's like here, some games he's here. I mean,
no.
I would like to say
if you
Njoku is inconsistent, but he doesn't deserve to be on that inconsistent tier.
Right.
Yeah. I think well, if we're just talking sheer athletic ability and potential, Njoku is higher than Knox, like not tier higher, but put ahead of Dawson Knox, just because, like you were talking, inconsistent is like his biggest thing, but he doesn't deserve to be on the inconsistent part. I think he kind of got fucked when they brought in Austin Hooper last year, and like he didn't even really have a chance, man. Like,
right.
Austin Hooper played great for Atlanta, and he just kind of came in and took the job. But I mean, that might show for how Njoku either practices or whatever. But I think that dude's athletic potential is crazy.
All right.
I like Njoku a
Dalton
lot.
Schultz. Average.
Average.
Noah Fant. Average.
Below average. I think he's underwhelmed.
Below average.
I think Noah Fant's overrated.
Wow.
That's fine with me. All right. Well, there is our tier list. As you hear the sirens going off behind me in the background. And that's the end of episode number 10, boys. We made it through 10 episodes. Give it a clap up for 10 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
10 episodes, right? Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you boys having me, man.
Yep. We'll definitely have you on again. Don't forget to look for anything on Rogue Energy and type in code Hydro at the very end there in the promo code to get 10% off. There'll be a lot of changes coming up. This episode especially, probably see a new thumbnail. Me and Chase have been trying to figure that stuff out. We're working on getting new logos and new social media stuff, so you'll be seeing that roll out pretty soon. We're just trying to make a lot of improvements over here, trying to get better. And if you've made it to this point in the video, we really appreciate you. We hope you like, you comment, you subscribe. Any ideas you want to see on the podcast, let us know interact with us on Twitter and TikTok. And until next time,
Hey,
Hydro Co
real,
podcast,
real,
boys.
real quick. We are going to try to start doing 2 of these a week to the best we can. And next week, I think Tuesday is a little something coming up, possibly a 4th host on Hydro and Co.
Yeah, we have some. We have definitely a surprise coming up on Tuesday. I know the new host is excited to be coming back to the podcast. You've seen him on here before. He's going to be the new 4th host, and we're excited to have him back. And we're going to use the second episode each week to have guests like Bryce and Tag and Logan on to really just have that alternate voice, talk about anything sports related. We're going to have our football episode each week, but we want to take that second episode and just kind of do what we want with it. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody's time watching it till this point, and we'll see y'all next week.
See you.
See ya.
See y'all.